This week on Yamani Alexis.
A change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. I'm just here to give y'all the gems. And y'all can pick them up or y'all can leave them for somebody else to find. But that's on y'all. What is up, you guys? It is your good sis, Yamani Alexis. Welcome back to the channel, the video, the banger, whatever you want to call it. Today's video is based on 20 things I wish I knew before I turned 30 years old. So I welcome all teenagers. I welcome all of you women in your early 20s, your mid 20s or late 20s, because it's never too late to learn some new things, okay? This old young pony got some tricks for you. 20 things that I feel like you need to know before hitting this benchmark. If y'all see me looking straight forward, that's because I'm doing my makeup and curling my hair. I have a mirror in front of me. If you see me looking to the side, I'm looking at my phone to give y'all the tips, okay? So don't fret. I'm here with you always. Just listen, lend me your ears. Trust me, you're gonna benefit from this video. I promise you, if you stick to the end, you will get at least one thing you could take away from this video. So with that being said, please do subscribe, like the video, and share this with somebody if you feel like they need it, okay? First things first, stop people pleasing. People pleasing got a lot of people playing in my face, and there's so many story times coming for this very reason, because for a long time I consider myself as someone that was non-confrontational. I don't like to get into arguments. I don't like to get into fights. I'm not opposed to it, but I would much rather not go down that route because I know how I am personally. I go from a 0 to 1,000. Drake don't got shit on me, okay? So yeah, I'm just here to let y'all know, like, you know, not being confrontational is the very reason why you're getting into confrontations. So get out of that mind state of saying, I don't want to be confrontational, I don't want to fight, I don't want to this, I don't want to that. It's going to come regardless. It's going to happen regardless. And if you welcome it with open arms and be ready for whatever, you can't be thrown off guard. I was scared of saying no. I was scared of not showing up for others. I was scared for a lot of reasons. And I got in them situations anyway. So don't be afraid to be in confrontation. Confrontation is natural. It happens. And whether you want it to happen or not, it's gonna happen. So let it go. Chase your dreams and not these get rich quick schemes. I know it rhymes. I used to be a rapper. I'm lying, but I tell y'all, I fell for so many of the buy my ebook, join my seminar, and was sitting there for 3 hours and was fed no new information that I knew before, that I didn't already know, or fed information that I'm not gonna use. So stop falling for these. Oh, I turned my $100 into $1 million. It's very much so possible, but if that's not your dream, then why are you going for it? It makes no sense. Follow your dream first, and any other little stupid thing you want to do after that, you can go ahead and do it at your own discretion. Waste your money that you earned building it up the hard way through your dreams. But don't spend the money that you're trying to come up with on shit that you're not going to follow through with. I'm sorry. I've done that too many times, and I'm trying to stop you from doing it. Don't do it. It doesn't work. If you look good, you feel good. And that's, you know, kind of funny that I'm doing my makeup, but it's very true. Times that I felt like I didn't look my best, I didn't feel my best. And like, of course, like, looking good is not going to change your problems, but you feel better, which causes you to sometimes make better decisions. I have the confidence to now do what I thought I couldn't do before because you look good. So with that being said, try your best when you're down to find ways to pick yourself back up. And with me, that's through my looks. There is a switch, an imaginary switch. You will not see it coming. You will not see it coming, I promise you. Being in your 20s, you will not see this coming, but there is a switch that happens when you turn 30. Or just before you turn 30. Because that's what happened to me. There was a switch that happened just before I turned 30 years old that I did not see coming. At that point, I took everything serious after that. Everything was like, yo, I gotta get this done. I have to get that done. Like, it was like I became more responsible. I don't know what happened. I don't know where it came from, but I promise you, there was a switch that just clicked. Like, I woke up in Jamaica and I was just looking around like so appreciative, and just, I felt like a grown woman. I felt like a grown woman plenty of times before that, but I really truly felt the essence of being a grown woman once I turned 30. It was so weird. Before I say this, this don't even need to be said, but I'm gonna say it. This doesn't even need to be said, but I'm gonna say it. Sleeping with somebody's man, their girlfriend, their husband, their wife is not a flex. Like, why do you think that's okay? Karma's real, baby. Karma is very much so real, and I'm a child of God. I don't play with God, and I don't play with his kids. Okay, so I suggest y'all not do the same, because God is a vengeful God. You know, people talk about God in the sense of, oh, you know, you pray to him, he'll give you what you want. But baby, on the other side of that, play with his kids and see what happens to you. Play with his kids. Play with God's children and see what happens to you. Okay? And you sleep with somebody's husband or wife, I'm sorry, but unknowingly, because I slept with somebody's husband, that's a whole nother story. Whew, that's a whole nother story. I done slept with somebody's husband unknowingly. Like, unbeknownst to me, I slept with somebody's husband. We call them home wreckers. If you're willing to be a home wrecker knowingly, there's something wrong. There's something terribly wrong with you. I'm so sorry. I need you to go to the nearest church and ask God for forgiveness, because no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. If their divorce settlement hasn't went through, and if they're not currently in 2 different homes, and there's no point of reconciliation, even then, my good sis or my good brother, it's not worth it until those divorce papers are signed. I'm sorry. That is still someone's marriage. If you don't take yourself seriously, how do you expect other people to take you seriously? And this is in all aspects of life. Like, I literally used to get so upset at people for not taking me seriously, but I never did the work for people to take me seriously. I'm like, oh, I'm a YouTuber, put some respect on my name, but you're not posting on a weekly basis, sis. Now I post twice a week, and I post shorts almost every day. Holla at me. The other day, somebody called me an influencer. I was baffled, but it's the truth. How are you baffled if it's the truth? Stop playing with yourself, and other people will stop playing with you. Period. All right, so this is for all my parents out there. So I am a parent of an 8-year-old boy, my loving, sweet baby boy. And let me tell you a little secret that a lot of parents don't say. As soon as you get parenting down pat, your kid will switch up on you. I've seen it happen so many times. Not only with just me, but with other parents. I think it's like an unwritten thing that parents don't communicate about. And I feel like it's my turn to share, because I've seen it happen so many times with raising my son. In the 8 years of raising him, I noticed that every time I get used to his sleep schedule, every time I get used to the things that he eats, every time I get used to how he learns, how he adapts to things, every time I get used to a friend of his, he changes friends. Every time I get used to him liking a new character or something, like, you know, once I got used to him liking dinosaurs, he switched to liking Sonic. Once I got him used to Sonic, he started liking Pokemon. It's a never ending cycle. When you get used to the things that your kid is doing, don't get too comfortable, because a change gonna come. Oh yes it will. I lie to you not. That is literally my reality. Like right now, my son is playing football, and he loved soccer for like about a year now, right? He loves soccer for about a year. Yesterday, we're walking on the field to football practice. He sees soccer players on the field. He's like, these soccer players are in the way. Excuse me? You're a soccer player. It was so hilarious to me that he's like falling in love with his team, because it's like, yo, this boy was so mad. Like when we would go to football practice in the beginning, the soccer players would be on the field, and homie would, like, you know, interact with the soccer players more than his own team. But now it's like in reverse. Like yesterday, a soccer ball rolled to him, he kicked it, but he didn't look at me like, oh mama, I want to play soccer, oh mama, give you on the soccer team. Like, that didn't happen. I think there's some kind of transition happening, and I don't want to be at fault for like him changing his desires with soccer, but football was available at the time, soccer wasn't. So now he's starting to fall in love with football. It's just a beautiful thing. But anyway, so as soon as you get used to your kids they will flip the switch on you, okay? Just to let you know. So any parents that are expecting, any parents that are, you know, brand new to this game, I'm letting you know now, as soon as your child, you get used to your child, they're going to change. Never accept the bare minimum in dating. This goes for men and women. Never, ever accept the bare minimum with dating. Because when you accept the bare minimum, they get comfortable. They don't want to do nothing else. And then let's say you end up in a relationship with this person, right? They're so used to doing the bare minimum that they're never going to do anything else because it seems like you're comfortable with what they're doing. So they don't never feel the need to change. They never feel the need to, you know, do better. Go on dates, buy your flowers, give you chocolate, buy your gifts on your birthday. What else? They be romantic. Like once you start a foundation of something, that's the start of it. Once you start something off bad, best believe there's no better. Like, not saying that a person doesn't have the capability of change, but if your partner is not willing to adapt, it's only going to lead in a breakup or you settling. So don't settle in the first place. I've been in the medical field for 8 years, and that's not including going to school. So if you include going to school, I was in the medical field for 10 years, right? And I'm gonna let you know right now, if you're somebody who is pursuing the medical field, imaging or technician, so that's x-rays, that's obstetricianists, where they do the sonograms and ultrasounds. If it's not anything like that where it's in and out and you get paid out that ass just to take an image of somebody or to do x-rays, dental x-rays, any of that is a waste of time. Also, to be a travel nurse, you get to travel the world and you get to make your own schedule and you get to get as much overtime as you see freaking fit. You understand me? So travel nurse is the shit. Also, who doesn't have children or doesn't aspire to have children or has a lot of time on their hands, a RN is a good job for you because it's rewarding, you're saving lives, and you're honestly doing more than the doctors do. So RN is also a good job. And any type of specialist, podiatrist, cardiologist, you can have your own office, your own practice, and you get all the money because your name is on the door. Okay, so if you're going to go into the medical field, go into it with great intentions and go into it for the bag. The cost of living is going up. So customer service in the medical field is the worst thing you can do to yourself. Do not do that to yourself, okay? Be active. However that resonates to you, be active. Whether it's on social media, if you plan on being an influencer, if you're not active and not keeping people fresh in your brain because there's so much other content they could be watching, bro, sis, how do you expect to grow? You have to be active on social media. You have to be active in real life. Like, you got to show up and show out. You feel what I'm saying? Weight loss, going to the gym, it's a lifestyle. You appear more attractive. You have more discipline. It's a stress reliever. Be active. There's nothing wrong with it. Heal for all my adults and even my children watching this video. My teenagers. My lovely little scrumptious little babies that's going out into this world. I need y'all to know something. If you had some traumatic shit going on in your household, or even in life with a partner, with a spouse, within anybody, before you move on in this world and expect people to owe you any freaking thing, owe it to yourself to heal. Pay yourself by healing. It's gonna pay off. I promise you. Your interactions with individuals will be better. Everything will be better when you heal. You won't take things out on people who don't deserve it if you're healed. So you need to heal. If nobody hasn't told you, I'm telling you, heal. People in this world don't deserve your baggage. Especially if they ain't do nothing to you. Now, if you're in a situation that's reminding you of something toxic that you've been through, then it's time for you to go. And then after you leave, heal. But in the meantime, before you subject somebody else to something you've been through and they don't know nothing about that, I suggest you heal, okay? This is a funny one and I'm going through this right now. Do not put in a 2-week notice to a job if you're leaving that job if you're not using them as a reference. I say that to say this. When they fire you, do they give you a notice? They may give you a write-up, but you never see the firing coming. Unless you know for a fact you did some shit you ain't have no business. But they don't give you notice, so why should you give them notice? The last time I gave a job a 2-week notice, you know what they did? They fired me the next day, child. Do not put in a 2-week notice. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your what is it called? Your characters, your Twitter fingers. Do not waste your time putting in a 2-week notice to a job. You take the 2 weeks that you need, rack up that money, and quit. Go in there gracefully. You don't got to disrespect nobody. You ain't got to do nothing crazy. All you got to do is say, oh, today's my last day. And gracefully bow out. That's all you got to do. Do not put in that 2-week notice, please. It's a waste of time. Waste of paper. Waste of ink. Waste of CCing and subject lines. Don't do it. Now, I know this sounds like, you know, oh my God, we knew this already. But a lot of y'all know shit and still don't implement it. So, is it worth knowing? Like, you conduct yourself like you don't know. So, does it hurt to remind you? Establish a routine. I'm telling you. And it may seem hard at first, because breaking a cycle takes 21 days. But sometimes, for some people, it happens quicker. But with that being said, establish a routine. You're not getting everything you need to get done because you are all over the place. And if you're an overthinker like me, child, it's worse. Because you overthinking about the fact that you got to get too much shit done. And the overthinking wears you out before you actually do the actual thing. Establish a routine. Get a routine in order so you know exactly what you're going to do on what days at what times. I still struggle with that. But I feel like if I could get through to somebody as I'm getting through to myself, then what's the harm? You know what I mean? We can stop a lot of mistakes from happening in this world. And that's my job as y'all good sis, is to let y'all know there's a better world out here for you. And you can get to that better world. It's just that you got to do the foundation work first. You have to get the formula down pat first before you can live that life. And I know a lot of us got a lot of responsibilities. Shit, I got a lot of responsibilities. But you can't use that as an excuse. People are given the same 24 hours in a day, and they are able to do way more than we do. And without making excuses for it. So, it's always a way. And a way for you to see that there's a way is through a routine. This is for my women. This is for my women. Stop stereotyping men. They all ain't shit in their own way. I promise you this. And this is coming from a woman who ain't single. I'll tell you right now, my man got some ways, and I'll be like, this nigga ain't shit. They all ain't shit. I promise you. You just gotta find the right one that ain't shit that you can tolerate. And I know I say don't settle, but nobody's perfect, love. So get with the one with the least amount of problems that you can tolerate. My mother used to tell me all the time, do a pros and a cons list. If the pros outweigh the cons, you in good money. Because nobody's ever going to be perfect. And even if somebody is perfect down the line, they're going to show you that they're not. So in the meantime, you know, they all ain't shit. That's all I got to tell you. All of them ain't shit. All men have ways about them that make you say, this nigga ain't shit. And I stand behind it 100%. No matter what color, shade they is, height, pea size, all of that. They all got something wrong with them. They all ain't shit. And within knowing that, you will make dating easier. If you went into it without degrading them by knowing that they ain't shit. You already know they ain't shit. So just weigh out the pros and the cons, and then you pick your person. There's somebody for everybody, and I truly believe that. Like, I see like the oddest people dating, and it's like, well, point proven, there's somebody for everybody. I'm just here to give y'all the gems, and y'all can pick them up, or y'all can leave them for somebody else to find. But that's on y'all. I'm just here. I'm just the messenger. Be reliable, but don't be a doormat. This goes back to people pleasing. You want to show up for people because that's just who you are. I'm the same way. But when it interferes with you showing up for yourself, or when it starts to become, oh, I know this person is reliable, I know I could always rely on this person, but they can't call me for anything, that's when it becomes a problem. So with that being said, be reliable, but don't be a doormat. If you want people to rely on you, sure, be reliable. Be that person, that stand-up person that people say, yo, no matter what I'm going through, I know this person gonna be there for me. But do it for the right people. You can't be mad when you letting the wrong people stomp all over you. You let it happen. You set the tone. Your self-respect is all yours. It belongs to you. So if you letting somebody violate that, you can't be mad at the person, because people are only gonna do what you allow them to do. Buy the damn thing already. Buy it. You've been seeing it, eyeing it. You got the money, but you hung up on, oh, I gotta save for this and that and the other. Money is energy, but love. Money is energy, beloved. Money will come back to you. You know, if you got it and if you could spare it a little, splurge a little. It's okay. It is okay. That money will come back to you tenfold. That money will come back to you tenfold. People irresponsibly spend money all the time. Does it stop money from flowing back in? No. Nope. You know why? Because money is energy. And your relationship with money, you determine your relationship with money. Not money itself. You determine your relationship with money. So, if you know it's coming back, you're going to spend it. You're going to spend it more frivolously. Because you know it's coming back. And once you know it's coming back, you ain't got to worry about not having it now, do you? Child, them bills ain't going nowhere. But you know what's expiring? You. Day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, we get older. And we get closer to dying. It's just the reality. So while you're here, enjoy the motherfucker. Spend a little bit of money. It's not going to hurt nobody. It may hurt you if you're irresponsible in the long run, but just use your discernment. That's all. And that ties into my next point. Manifest the life you want. I don't care what it looks like, if it's the 369 method, the 333, the PPP. Manifest it, love, because it's coming. As long as if you speak it and believe it and achieve it, it will happen. It's just that simple. You speak it, believe it, achieve it, it will happen. I promise you. I've manifested so much and didn't even realize I was manifesting. Can you believe that? Manifestation is not a new tool. It's not a millennial thing. It's not a social media thing. It's something that existed for centuries. It's something that existed for centuries. We just put a name to it. That's it. We put a name to it recently. But it's always been a thing. It's always been there. And you probably don't realize that you've done it, but you have. So, put the backbone now that you know what it is, and now that you know that it's possible, do the damn thing, okay? As soon as you know what you want out of life, the quicker you can get there. And that ties back into manifestation. As soon as you know what you want to do with your life, you know what it takes to get there. You're going to do the necessary research. You're going to do whatever it takes to get what you got to get, right? Take time to yourself. Take time out for yourself to actually learn yourself, to know what it is that you want. A lot of people say, oh, I don't know what I want. That's because you don't know yourself. Get to know yourself. Do the shadow work. Heal. And you will know. Okay, you guys, so I finished my hair and makeup, and I'm coming on camera to give you guys the last and final tip, and that is to put yourself first. You feel like you're alone in this world because you have no one to turn to, but essentially everybody is doing this except for you. Everyone is putting themselves first. You're not doing it because you're people pleasing. That ties back into tip number 1. I'm telling you, this video has come full circle at this point. By people pleasing and always trying to extend the open hand only to get it curled back up towards you humbly is because you're not putting yourself first. This is something that everybody in this world is doing and you're failing to do, and that's why you're often disappointed. This is why you feel alone, is because you're not adapting to the world. Do not put yourself in circumstances or situations that you're going to end up getting the short end of the stick in regards to your life. So let's say a friend needs some money and you're about to literally give them your last $20, not knowing that you're going to need it soon. But you give it to them and you're like, hey, I know I get paid on Wednesday. It's Sunday. All right, cool. Boom. Monday. You need your $20. And you can't turn to that friend that just borrowed that $20 from you. But now you need it. Now who do you turn to? Who do you turn to? Who do you turn to in that moment when you could have just simply said, sorry friend, this is my last $20. You don't even have to offer an explanation. Rule of thumb, if you can't do it twice, don't do it at all. All right, so that's a little extra tip within a tip. Put yourself first in all situations where you could possibly end up getting the short end of the stick. And that is the end of the video. Hopefully 1 out of 20, you had to get at least 1 out of 20. 1 out of 20. You had to walk away with something from this video. And if you did, I suggest you hit the like button so other people could be informed and get tips of their own to help their lives move more smoothly on this journey to adulthood. And if you're not an adult as of yet, you have a long ways to go, my love. Everything happens through trial and tribulation and experience, okay? So no one on this planet could 100% protect you from having to go through the experience, because the true teacher is experience. But I got enough experience to shed some light on these situations, okay? And with that being said, I hope that I was able to teach somebody something today. I hope a veil was lifted off of someone's eyes. I hope that an epiphany happened. Subscribe if you aren't already. And if I'm so gracious to have you again, I will see you guys in my next video. Yamani Alexis signing out and off. Bye.